The management of Mass Camp defends a decision to feature foreign artists at its local event, saying this is all part of regional integration. The 45-year-old Waitukubuli Dance Theatre Company marks its 39th year of hosting the Miss Teen Dominica pageant, and Dominica's first Prime Minister released from a Martinique hospital just 1 week after he was admitted with heart complications. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details coming up. First up, chairperson of Showdown Mass Camp, Dr. Valda Henry, says the inclusion of foreign acts on a Mass Camp stage is expected to generate greater exposure for local Calypsonians. Idona John Baptist explains.
The Calypso tent will feature a foreign performer at every staging this season, something which has not been done before. Mass Camp's new management is of the view that this move will encourage regional integration. This Friday night's show will feature internationally acclaimed Vincentian soca artist Kevin Little.
Well, Idona, I'm sure you're aware, as well as all of us, that CARICOM CSM meets one Caribbean space. And so the introduction of our foreign acts at every week this year is ready to expose Dominicans to these artists, but also to help in terms of building strategic relationships and partnerships with persons from other countries, so that we too can plan our own events, which we are planning for our artists to tour other countries. And if we are to encourage that one movement and that free space, it's really not about being Dominican and being Vincentian, but it's being Caribbean people. It's all part of Caribbean unity.
The plan going forward is to have an element of foreign acts at next year's Mass Camp. Dr. Henry says it's a way of marketing our music to the established overseas performers.
Because when they come to perform, other persons come to perform. Let us say Kevin Little comes to perform. He's performing tomorrow. Mighty Gabi is coming next week Thursday. Short Shirt is coming on the 30th. What happens? Our Calypsonians are exposed to a different thing. They see a different level of performance. And what it does, it helps to motivate. It helps to strive to bring up their own game, so that they too can compete on the international platform. Because that's our aim, really. Because that has always been one of the critiques, say, of Dominica. And one of the things that persons say, even in terms of King Dice, 7-time king, what have we done for King Dice as a nation? What have we done for King Dice as the Dominica Calypso Association? What have we done for King Dice even as Mass Camp?
Original WCK band members and music producer Krishna Dada Lawrence will also be honored at Friday night's Mass Camp.
Meantime, multi-platinum selling recording artist Kevin Little says he is interested in collaborating with Dominican musicians if the opportunity arises. Little is best known for the 2003 hit song Turn Me On, and he has been featured on music with US artists Maya and Florida. Little has vowed to create the opportunity for Caribbean musicians to expand their career.
I actually asked last night while I was with these lovely people here with me and about going in the studio. So I'm very interested in working and doing something different. You know, staying in the vein of what you're talking about, I actually am into mixing the cultures of the Caribbean and trying to help. You know, because I've had so much success internationally in comparison to even a lot of the dancehall stars. So this is something I want to help the whole Caribbean with. I've actually found my own record label, and I'm about to offer distribution to all artists in the Caribbean, because I want to see our music not just be in our radio stations and in our atmosphere, but in other points of sales also, other stores around the world.
He says he is impressed with the way Dominicans are hooked on their own culture.
I love that you're honoring your own artists, because the thing is, in St. Vincent, Raga Soca, which is the music that I came upon, which Turned Me On which is the biggest song I've had, is Raga Soca. But in our island, they don't really focus on it and make it what it is supposed to be. And I love that you guys are actually holding on to your, what was it, Bouillon, yes, that music of WCK and all. Yeah, I love that. That's very important, and that speaks wonders for you guys. You know, Calypso in St. Vincent isn't nowhere where it's at here in Dominica.
Well, Bouillon fans have not been let down, at least those of the Triple K band. Idona John Baptist picks up that story.
Triple K will be performing on the Carnival opening parade route, while WCK's likelihood to be on is still up in the air. Up until Wednesday, the Dominica Festivals Committee had not contracted live bands for the parade, citing a tight budget, among other factors. WCK and Triple K have typically been featured on the route.
Triple K will be participating in the opening parade of Carnival. We were called by the Minister of Tourism because, like anything else, when the statement came out from the DFC people on Marpin and DNO and other media outlets, you heard the cries of the people, of the Carnival people, that is. When we were called, we made the decision as a band that we will come out on the road and do it free at zero cost, right? However, the additional costs that we're not in control of, like the truck and the trailer system, whatever it is, the DFC will take care of that.
The Triple K band has normally charged over $7,000 just for band fees to perform for opening parade. Deputa says it's unfair for them to be asked to do pro bono work all the time.
Just in November 4th, we did it on the road also. We were the only band on the road. We came out free at no cost. Many people may not know because, I mean, you come out and then you enjoy yourself for Carnival and that sort of thing. But on Carnival Tuesday, nobody pays us, right? We have a t-shirt band on Carnival Monday, yes. Also Juve, we come out for Juve, nobody pays for that. Carnival Tuesday, nobody pays for it. So sometimes when you hear people say, you know, give back and whatever it is, you have to understand that we do give back a lot.
In WCK's case, financial challenges are looming over their chances.
That's the thing we look forward to every year, the opening of Carnival City. But there's a cost factor associated with being on the road, and close to about $10,000 EC. We're talking about sound system, we're talking about generator, diesel, and band and refreshment and everything. And the budget is tight. Sponsors, we keep on going to sponsors, and sponsors saying that it's a bit difficult after Tropical Storm Erika, things are a little tight.
Prosper says, however, there is still a question mark over the matter since the band has been getting calls about their possible inclusion on the parade.
WCK, our phone's busy. All of a sudden, the stone that the builder refuses, we start getting calls. So we're watching and waiting to see what's going to happen for tomorrow. But as I said, we love to be on the road. We're practicing, we're rehearsing hard for the fans because we have some new songs we want to release, but we're waiting still. Nothing not rolling, so we decide, look, we cannot absorb that cost on our own. So if DFC decide they want to contract the band or they want to meet half of the cost, and we will come out because the sound system, everything, they're waiting.
WCK is due to perform at Portsmouth's Carnival opening.
And WCK is expected to bring the curtain down on the opening celebrations at Carnival City. In other news now, troublemakers during Carnival will get no mercy from the police as a top cop promises swift action against bad behavior. Police Superintendent Richmond Valentine has issued the warning.
I would like to caution those individuals with criminal intentions who, during the Carnival season, wait for the opportunity to settle scores with others. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force will implement measures to intercept, harass, and disrupt their plans. And if found culpable, prosecution will be swift.
Truckers should prepare to have their vehicles to be used during Carnival to be inspected by police before going on the road.
We're also expecting that some of the trucks will carry what we call a guardrail. If you notice, some of the trucks from the ground level to the first platform, a child of about 5 or height, let's say height 4 feet, can easily walk under the truck. So we're asking them to put some guardrails that can prevent that. And this year, those trucks will be inspected prior to coming on the route, because a number of times we've kept meeting with some of the truck drivers and band operators, and they agree. But on the actual day, you see something completely different.
And an institution which promotes and develops one of Dominica's art forms is observing a milestone anniversary this year.
The Waitukubuli Dance Theatre Company was established in Dominica in 1971. Artistic director for the dance troupe says the group has amassed many achievements over the past few decades.
This year, the Waitukubuli Dance Theatre Company is celebrating 45 years of creative dance with the theme Celebrating the Dream. During the 45 years of our existence, the Waitukubuli Dance Theatre Company has been able to provide numerous opportunities for young persons in Dominica to develop their skills, especially in creative dance. In addition, through the years, we have provided entertainment at every major festival in Dominica, including the World Creole Music Festival, Independence, Carnival, Domfesta, and Emancipation. We've also toured and staged performances in several Caribbean islands, promoting Dominica and Dominica's culture everywhere we have performed.
One of the signature events of the dance company is the annual Miss Teen Dominica pageant, which is now in its 39th year. Lucretia Wallace of the Portsmouth Secondary School won that competition in 2015 and went on to represent Dominica at the Caribbean Talented Teen Pageant in St. Kitts in December, where she placed first runner-up. The annual dance production will be held on the 1st and 2nd of April this year. A church service was among the many activities held in recognition of the dance company's 45th anniversary. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, the latest on plans for a coffee plant at 1 Mile. Plans to open a coffee plant at 1 Mile in Portsmouth has slowed down a bit due to Tropical Storm Erica, but attention is now being placed on rehabilitating available coffee farms. Lurian Graham Carter reports.
The Minister for Agriculture revealed this week that they have not finalized the date for the plant to be opened, but he is optimistic. In 2010, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the government of Dominica and Venezuela for work to begin on a coffee processing plant. Construction of the plant began in 2013 and ended in 2014. At a farmers' forum in October 2015, coordinator of the Coffee and Cocoa Development Program said that only 50 acres of coffee were available locally, but there was enough planting material to go forward. Government has already identified Guadeloupe and Martinique as export markets.
We will go in there, we will provide farmers with the necessary inputs, the necessary shade or whatever is needed to get those trees back into production and to get the most out of it. We're also looking at establishing 300 acres of coffee over a 3-year period. And of course, operationalization of the coffee processing plant. We'll also be looking at the propagation of 210,000 plants over a 3-year period.
For the fiscal year 2015-2016, $100,000 was approved for the development of coffee. 60 farmers have already been identified to propagate 110 acres of coffee at the Portsmouth Agricultural Station for the first year.
Coffee plants will be available for distribution in the first quarter of 2017. It takes roughly anywhere from 12 to 14 months for plants to reach distribution size. In the interim, while plants are being prepared, farmers will be visited with reference to determine the suitability of location and the establishment of shade crops or trees.
Meanwhile, the $14 million coffee plant constructed at 1 Mile, when opened, will have the ability to process 200 metric tons of coffee a year. To accomplish this target annually, 1,600 acres of coffee would have to be grown locally. Minister for Agriculture Johnson Jaigo says currently they are working towards the ministry's goal to get the coffee plant opened and operational.
Dominica's former Prime Minister Patrick Roland John, who was airlifted to Martinique on January 7 for emergency heart treatment, is expected back home soon. John's wife, Desiree, said her husband was due to have been discharged from hospital Friday evening. But she said doctors advised him against traveling by ferry as was being proposed. Mrs. John said surgery was too risky due to her husband's age and the strength of his heart. But medication was given for his condition. She said she was in the process of negotiating for a private plane for the journey home. The months of May and August were deemed as the toughest for the Fire and Ambulance Department in 2015.
A record number of bushfires in May kept the department busy in 2015. The dry season runs from December to May, and during that dry spell, bushfires are not uncommon. However, the month of May proved to be particularly challenging as the Fire and Ambulance Department responded to 97 bushfires.
We had a very short but very intense dry period, and during that time we were severely challenged. Some of you fire officers would remember there were times when we engaged Granby to come to assist us. There were times we engaged St. Joseph to come to assist us in Ozo at Fire Brigade headquarters, because there were instances where we had 4, 5, 6 fires, bushfires that is, that required response simultaneously.
During 2015, the Fire Prevention Unit had conducted 175 training sessions in fire safety and basic first aid. Through those programs, 2,294 people were trained in fire safety management and life-saving techniques. The month of August, on the other hand, which falls in the wet season, turned out to be extremely demanding on the Fire and Ambulance Department due to Tropical Storm Erica.
In the month of August, Tropical Storm Erica visited us, and it required a national response by fire officers on duty, off duty, and you will remember in some instances fire officers came from different islands in the region to be of aid to us. I must commend those fire officers who came from far, but I want to sharpen my focus to fire officers who are right here with us, who did a remarkable job post-Erica in providing rescue and recovery services to citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
The fire chief also noted a decrease in the number of ambulance calls from 8,635 in 2014 to 7,042 in 2015. The decline in calls was linked to the limited ambulances in the health districts. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
And the body, which was found floating off the coast of Roseau on Sunday, has been identified. Police Public Relations Officer Sergeant Pelham John Baptist has more.
The police can confirm that the lifeless body, which was recovered at sea on Sunday, the 10th of January 2016, has been positively identified as that of Alphonsus John Feen, male, 60 years old, of Cassibrus. The police department extends deepest condolences to the family and friends of the late Alphonsus John Feen, male, 60 years old, of Cassibrus.
That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Sports Report. First up in sports, the 2016 United Insurance Secondary Schools Under-20 Cricket Championships kicked off at Windsor Park Sports Stadium with 5 teams present Friday. Sports Coordinator U.D. John delivered the opening remarks.
As we show appreciation, I would like to sound the call to the other corporate citizens to come on board as best as we can. So when things of that nature could happen, that we know we have the guarantee because of the support of our corporate citizens, so that we can continue to afford the students the opportunities that are provided towards their development. Because it would be shameful to say, or hurtful to say rather, that because of a tropical storm a generation is lost. But let me tell you, the efforts at the sports division and the ministry, and by extension the government of Dominica, will not afford a lost generation.
He encouraged the cricket teams to maintain their focus and be disciplined in the sport.
Students, I want to take this opportunity to address you right now and to admonish you to take responsibilities for your performance in cricket and in sports. And it's your responsibility to contribute to your own personal development and say, okay, sir, I need us to train. We need to train if we are to excel.
Then the teams took to the field to engage in some bat and ball action.
Defending champions Balata House were declared the 2016 Secondary Schools Cricket Ballarama champions after they defeated the Wallace House of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary by 24 runs. Alik Asana has top scored with 26 to help Balata reach 27 for 1 after 5 overs. The Wallace House of ITSS in reply scored 23 for 3. In Game 1, the Wallace House recorded a 10-wicket victory over the George House of Castlebrew Secondary. Castlebrew scored 35 for 1 from 5 overs, while the Wallace House replied with 40 without loss from 4 overs. In Game 2, the Balata House celebrated a 9-wicket win over the Cicero House of the Northeast Comprehensive. Cicero started things going with 29 for 7 in 5 overs. However, Balata dominated with a reply of 30 for 1 in 2.4 overs.
Now on to the international cricket scene. Joe Root scored his 9th Test century to lead the way with 106 not out, and Ben Stokes assisted with 58 to help England reply with 238 for 5. On Thursday, South Africa were on 267 for 7, but clocked out on 313 on day 2 of the Test against England. Ben Stokes took 3 for 53, Stephen Finn 2 for 50, and Stuart Board 2 for 82 in favour of England. Kegiso Rabada picked up 2 for 44 and Morn Morkel 2 for 63 for the South Africans. On Friday, England trailed by 75 runs with 5 wickets remaining in the first innings. In football, 3 wins and no draws were recorded in Thursday's edition of the DFA Division 1 League. Gerald George has the ball-by-ball details.
RIC Kelsborough defeated Police Sports Club 2-0 at the Pori playing field in the first match of a doubleheader. Joshua de Ravelry and Siobhan Danglebell scored for Kelsborough, giving them their 4th win from 5 matches played. In the second match, Kenfield Football Club edged out Grandford Young Boys 1-0. Kemoa Richards scored for Kenfield, and at the Benjamin Park, Nemesis United defeated Exodus Young Boys 4-1. The league continues tonight with Mao Suka Strikers taking on MV Maxano Bombers at the Benjamin Park at 6 p.m, while in a doubleheader at the Newton playing field, All Saints Football Club will come up against ACS Tarish United from 5 p.m, to be followed by Trafalgar Football Club versus Element Agencies LA Stars at 7 p.m. This is Gerald George, PRO Dominica Football Association.
And in Division 1 football on the weekend,
Sunday, Grandford Young Boys will come up against RC Doctors at the Castlebrew playing field at 3 p.m, while in a doubleheader at the Newton playing field, Cube Barbershop Bath Estate will take on Will George Academy at 3 p.m, to be followed by Harlem United versus Fokule United at 5 p.m. And at the Benjamin Park, Itasi United will come up against Waukee Rollers at 3 p.m.
Meantime, Channel 5 Sports spoke with Delbert Daly, the captain of Exodus Football Club, who expressed his concerns with the level of discipline some footballers demonstrate in the sport. His comments come after his team's 6-2 defeat against Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers last Sunday.
I wish the media would put more pressure on guys, in sports in Dominica, when you do certain things, get red cards, the media expose it, but I wish the media would have a campaign for guys to change their attitude, because right now the sports is not going further because of, the attitude of players, even at the senior level, guys don't want to come training, guys feel that they're good enough, but I always say, the professionals, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, they could close their eyes and score on every day they are training, but guys, here in Dominica, guys just feel that they score once and then they don't need to train anymore, and that is just affecting our team. Before we did so well, in years past, and that's when Exodus, we were together, but right now, guys not realizing that division, guys staying away, who pull in this way, is not going to do good for the team, and that will just push back sponsors from, helping, the team.
And finally, the semi-finals of the National Rounders League kicks off on Sunday with 2 matches to be played. Maxwell Conquerors and NCCU Dumsetco Stars will clash at Maho, while Portersville Savannah will see some action between Posse Rock Stars and Duke Strikers. Both matches will start at noon. That's all the sports for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time.
Well, the Carnival opening parade is scheduled for this weekend. We're hoping to have some really good weather. Your weather report is next.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I will be your presenter for this evening in Farrer Rock, Korea. A high pressure system was a dominant feature today, producing a dry and stable atmosphere across the region, resulting in fair to partly cloudy skies across Dominica. Earlier radar imagery indicated no shower activity across Dominica. As a matter of fact, no rainfall was recorded at the Canefield station today. Tonight's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy with brief showers, and similar conditions are expected for tomorrow. The marine conditions will be moderate and waves are expected to be up to 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers, please exercise caution. Wet weather can we expect for the weekend? Fair to partly cloudy skies with maximum temperatures up to 30 degrees are expected for the 3-day period. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, high pressure system will continue to be a dominant feature. Therefore, fair to partly cloudy skies are expected for the Lesser Antilles. On the international scene, partly cloudy skies with some showers are expected for New York, and fair to partly cloudy skies are expected for Miami, London, Caracas, and Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:36 a.m. and will set at 5:55 p.m. For more information, you could always visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us next time for your next weather broadcast. Thank you.
To end the news, the headlines again. The management of Mascamp defends a decision to feature a foreign artist, saying it's all part of regional integration. The Waitukubuli Dance Theatre Company marks its 39th year of hosting the Miss Teen Dominica pageant. And Dominica's first Prime Minister released from a Martinique hospital just 1 week after he was admitted with heart complications. Email us at news@MarpinNewsJan15th2k16. You can also watch us on our YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Do have a great weekend.